The very best in classic rock. 96.1 KQPR FM, Albert Lee, Minnesota.
Save more at Hy-Vee. Earn Fuel Saver rewards on over 1,000 items at your Albert Lee Hy-Vee with your Hy-Vee Perks card. Don't have a card? Sign up today. It's free. Go to Hy-Vee.com/perks.
Support local hockey and grow your business by becoming an Austin Bruins partner. With customizable packages featuring in-arena exposure, media and digital promotions, and more, your brand will be seen by thousands of passionate fans. Join the team behind the team. Become a sponsor today by calling 507-434-4978 or visiting austinbruins.com.
It's time once again to make those New Year's resolutions you absolutely, definitely, probably won't keep. Maybe you've resolved to hit the gym every day. Or at least once a week. Okay, maybe just drive by it on your way to the donut shop. Here's one resolution you can keep. Review your insurance with Americana Insurance Group to ensure you have the exact coverage you need. Americana Insurance in Albert Lee, Wells, and Ellendale. Or visit our website at www.americanainsurance.com. Americana Insurance. Let us help you start the new year right.
As the seasons change, so do things at the Pizza Ranch, located in the Northbridge Mall just off I-90 in Albert Lee. Now, senior appreciation pricing is all day Wednesday, not just for lunch. You can also get the buffet for just $11.99 from 11 until 11:29, Monday through Friday, with the early bird discount. Kids still eat free with a paid adult on Tuesdays, and the party rooms are available, seating up to 100 people. It's all at the Pizza Ranch, located in the Northbridge Mall just off I-90 in Albert Lee.
The friendly staff at Albert Lee's Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union reminds you that when you're in need of a home that satisfies your financial needs, let Trades and Labor Credit Union make it easy with checking services, debit cards, home equity loans, and savings options that will earn you more for your money. Visit Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union on Albert Lee's friendly south side. Open 6 days a week with social distancing for your safety and theirs. Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, providing financial services since 1958.
Hey, and that's right. It's time for another edition of Tiger Sports Saturday. I'm your host, Dave Nelson, sports director here with Power 96. Just making sure that everything's up and running. It's just me here right now, but we're going to have a full slate of guests here today, as we will have our Hy-Vee happenings here momentarily when Dawn comes on over. And, yeah, we are up and running, so that's perfect. We also going to have Dylan Thompson here today with Fishing with Dylan. Of course, we know there's a lot of ice out there, so people definitely are out ice fishing, stuff like that. And we'll hear about what's going on out there in that fishing world, seeing if he's got any hot tips and things like that. Let's go ahead and thank our Tiger Sports Saturday sponsors. Of course, Hy-Vee here in Albert Lee. It's the home of Tiger Sports Saturday. If you come on in and maybe you're going to do your New Year's shopping, things like that, you just go ahead and come on in, and to the right there is the Market Grill, and right there in that little food court area is where we're set up today, and that's where we're set up pretty much every Saturday, unless we are out on location or I'm on vacation, which doesn't happen too often, right? Normally I try to get to the show as much as we can here at Hy-Vee. But we also have Americana Insurance, and of course, Americana Insurance, they always bring you the press box. So all of the games, like I said, they come to you. We have a lot of different sponsors, in game, as well as our sports boosters. But Americana, they are our main sports sponsor here with Power 96. So we do thank Tom and his staff there. Pizza Ranch here in Albert Lee, of course, the former home. But like I said, they're still a big part of Albert Lee sports. And Power 96 Sports here. So we do want to thank them as well. Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union. Hey, I want to thank Brad Skinnis, of course, the big dog there, as we call him. He's the face. He's got that radio face. No, actually, he's. I'm not gonna say he's a good-looking cat, but his wife would say he's a good-looking cat. But yeah, like I said, Brad, he's been helping us out with some of the basketball games this year again, as well as he did softball, or mainly baseball this year as well. But we'll get into our sports schedule here after a little bit, and we're going to have Mr. Skinnis back on helping us again here in the month of January for the basketball games. And then, of course, the Austin Bruins, and we'll get into them in just a little bit. Of course, they having a pretty good season there. Dawn's getting her headset on. She wears it a little weird, but you know what? That's okay.
Hey, it is not weird when you have hair that you have to not press down.
That is true. Is Dawn here from Hy-Vee? Of course, Dawn, what is your main title here at Hy-Vee?
I am a service manager. That means I run the front end, so all the checkers, the cash, customer service, and the self-checkouts.
So if you ever have a complaint, you go see Dawn.
Yes, you come see me, and we will try to get you through as fast as possible.
Yeah, and of course, Dawn, your checkers, and you guys have had a pretty busy couple of weeks.
Yes, yes, we have. Over the holidays, it's usually nice and busy, but we'd like to keep it up, so you just come on in, and we got the deals in here.
Yeah, and of course, what deals do you guys got going on here for New Year's?
New Year's, I'm sure we have all the steaks and lobster, and I don't know any prices right now, but those lobsters and steaks and fish and all that is probably a pretty good sale going on.
Yeah, and of course, with New Year's, whether you're doing it New Year's Eve or New Year's Day,
yep.
There's a lot of different things. Speaking of if New Year's Day, if breakfast, you guys are running a Syntastic sale right now.
Yep.
Yeah, you've got, of course, the old-fashioned cinnamon rolls, gourmet rolls, the sticky pull-aparts.
Oh, yeah. Those are really good. Those sticky, oh, my goodness.
You know, they are good.
Yep.
I normally tend to not eat a lot of sweets. Bologna,
yep.
I eat a lot of sweets, you know that. And pull-aparts, they are definitely good.
Yep.
As well as cinnamon cookies and cinnamon-filled crisps. You guys have a whole bunch of things going on there.
Yeah, our bakery is always filled with a lot of good stuff.
Plus, of course, maybe you'd like to partake in a beverage or two.
Oh, yes.
Of course, next door at Hy-Vee Wine and Spirits.
Yes, you go find Nicole, and she will set you up with everything you need.
Yeah, and as far as with New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, store hours don't change really here.
Store hours do not change for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, no.
Okay. So you have that. Of course, you still have the holiday meal packs.
Yep.
So if maybe you want... maybe you want Hy-Vee to do the cooking for you.
Oh, yes.
You've got a lot of different options you can get in.
Yeah,
We want to probably say Tuesday to get those.
Oh, yeah, probably Monday. I would come talk to either Matt or Ben and get your catering stuff lined up for your New Year's Eve parties and New Year's Day parties.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like I said, they have those meals. You just take them home. You warm them up. I mean, it's a pretty easy deal, especially maybe if maybe moms were in charge of the Christmas dinner. Dads might be in charge of the New Year's dinner.
Yep.
Maybe dads like to have a couple beverages.
Yep.
There's nothing easier than what you can
exactly.
get with Hy-Vee.
And if you want the hot food, you just come and talk to Matt or Ben, and they will prepare a meal, and it will be hot, and then we can have it catered to you.
Yeah, and I know they're saying that we could see a little snowstorm.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow and Monday.
How has the store been getting prepped for that?
Well, we're trying to just make sure all the shelves are full with products and make sure that everybody has what they need to ride out if we do get a bad storm. So.
Yeah, and of course you guys always have, anything from fresh produce, fresh
yes.
bakery things, the meat department, or maybe, like I said, you want to have some pre-made meals. Like I said, in the Market Grill, you have a lot of different options that are already pre-made. Take home, just warm them up, and you're ready to go.
Yep.
What is your favorite thing to eat here? I know you guys eat here on your breaks and things like that.
I like the roasted chicken.
The roasted chicken?
I think we have the best roasted chicken in town. It comes the whole chicken, and it is delicious, and it will feed a family of 4.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good-sized chicken, and, yes, that is my favorite.
Well, and everybody has their favorites, and like I said, the chicken is one of those.
Yes.
A lot of people do like that chicken.
Yes,
So.
yes.
Anything else going on? Nothing as far as for New Year's for Kids Club. Nothing like that really going on.
I don't
Santa
think-
did his deal.
Yeah, I don't think Amber has anything going on for Kids Club. If all the moms or dads got signed up with their kids for Kids Club, all they have to do is check their emails, and they will get emailed any information if there is something. But I don't believe there is anything going on right now for New Year's.
Yeah, and I know, like I said, you guys have done a lot here with the Kids Club over the last couple of months, and
Oh, yeah.
you're going to continue with that. So make sure you sign up for that as well, and you can do that up at the service counter.
Yes, we can sign you up at the service counter.
What else do you guys really do up at the service counter? I mean, obviously you got lottery tickets,
Yep.
things like that.
We do postal. You can mail your packages either UPS or regular mail.
So are you guys a UPS drop-off?
Yes, we are a UPS
okay, and
drop-off.
that's a big thing because
That is
now
a
that
huge,
we don't have one here in town.
huge thing. We've had so many packages dropped off at our location because there is no drop-off anymore. So I bet you over the last 2 days we probably had close to 300-400 packages
Well,
behind
probably
our.
those UPS or those Amazon returns, maybe
Yes.
things like that.
Yes.
So yeah, Hy-Vee, just UPS or FedEx as
No,
well?
we do not do FedEx,
Okay,
just
just
UPS.
UPS.
And if
And-
you have a barcode where you have to scan, we don't have a gun to scan.
Okay.
We can make a label for you, but you'd have to pay for the label to be put on. Most of the time, if you buy a package from, say, Amazon or any other stores, they will give you a prepaid label to return. You just put that label on the box or envelope or whatever it is, and you just bring it to us, and we will send it out.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, folks. I know, and that's one of the things. Now that we don't have that UPS, drop off anymore. A lot of times, and just send them here to Hy-Vee so they can take care of them.
Yes, and we also do the regular mail, ground or priority. So the priority is the key thing to get things fast to the location, and we can obviously do those for you here. We also fax. We do. See, a lot of people don't know it, but we do hunting license and
that's
fish
the next
license.
thing I was going to say, especially
yes.
with ice fishing going on right now.
Yes.
Get your ice
So,
fishing license.
yes, come out to Hy-Vee. I am here till 4 o'clock today. I will get you lined up with your fishing license so you can go ice fishing. A lot of people don't know we have that available, and we've had that for years out
I
here.
normally get mine every year here.
Yes. Yep, and it's
uh,
quick and easy.
Yep, it is.
Yep.
Like I said,
There's no problems for me to do it. I just whip it right through.
and the best thing is they can start on it. They can go get whatever they need
Yep.
to go do shopping,
Yep.
come back, and it's done for 'em.
Exactly.
Well, Dawn, I want to thank you for swinging in today. And
Yes.
like I said, you can see Dawn up there at the front desk anytime you need anything. She's one of the helpful smiles in every aisle.
I try to be, even when I'm
You
in pain.
always are. You always got that smile, and I know, like I said, we've had you on here before.
Yep.
And it's always a treat when you walk in and you're always running around up front taking good care of the customers.
Well,
so.
when you're positive and you smile, you feel physically better. Your body
good,
feels
yes.
better.
That's why
So-
I must not smile enough.
You must not, Dave. You must not, because it really does. Your attitude and your perspective on life, you just have to have a positive perspective on life, and
Yep.
you will physically feel better.
Well, and that's what they try to portray here at Hy-Vee, and they got
Yes.
everything else you need there to help you as well.
Yes.
So, well, thank you, Dawn, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to take our first break here. We'll be back with more Tiger Sports Saturday here on Power 96.
It's time once again to make those New Year's resolutions you absolutely, definitely, probably won't keep. Maybe you've resolved to hit the gym every day, or at least once a week. Okay, maybe just drive by it on your way to the donut shop. Here's one resolution you can keep. Review your insurance with Americana Insurance Group to ensure you have the exact coverage you need. Americana Insurance in Albert Lee, Wells, and Ellendale. Or visit our website at www.americanainsurance.com. Americana Insurance. Let us help you start the new year right.
The friendly staff at Albert Lee's Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union reminds you that when you're in need of a home that satisfies your financial needs, let Trades and Labor Credit Union make it easy with checking services, debit cards, home equity loans, and savings options that will earn you more for your money. Visit Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union on Albert Lee's friendly south side. Open 6 days a week with social distancing for your safety and theirs. Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, providing financial services since 1958.
Save more at Hy-Vee. Earn Fuel Saver rewards on over 1,000 items at your Albert Lee Hy-Vee with your Hy-Vee Perks card. Don't have a card? Sign up today. It's free. Go to Hy-Vee.com/perks.
Here's your Power 96 weather update. A dense fog advisory remains in effect. A winter storm watch begins at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Daytime highs approaching 43 with fog in spots today under overcast skies. Winds out of the south 10 to 15 miles per hour. 4 to 8 inches of snow tomorrow through Monday. That's your Power 96 weather update. I'm meteorologist Paul Trombley. Currently, it's 33 degrees.
Power 96.
Hey, folks, so we're back here. Amber just stopped by and said, did you guys talk about Kids Club? What's going on with Kids Club, Amber? You can talk on that mic. What's going on with Kids Club? You got that mic there? No, I'll take that one. That one. This? Yes. Jeez. We got to get you on the air more, Amber.
I'm kind of a rookie over here. Am I live now?
Yeah, you're live.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so Wednesday,
get it close.
New Year's Eve from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., we are going to have a balloon drop. So we are going to blow up 200 Kids Club balloons. We have a net that's going to hang from the ceiling, and at 10 a.m. sharp, they're going to fall.
When is that?
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, 10 a.m.
Yep, 10 a.m. And then the kids that are participating in Kids Club, which we have over 200 participants signed up, and we obviously can take a lot more. You can register with me at the store level or at Hy-Vee Inc. online, and I think our Albert Lee Facebook as well. But anyways, the ones that are already pre-registered get a free slice of pizza.
Awesome.
From 10 a.m.
Everybody
to 1
likes
p.m.
pizza.
Yep, especially for New Year's Eve. So stock out and check out the balloon launch. This is the first time we've done it, so should be a good time.
10 a.m. on New Year's Eve. So, all right, thank you, Amber. Another thing they did bring, of course, Albert Lee Tribune puts out a nice Albert Lee magazine, and I had seen it on there, and I didn't know for sure, and yes, the cover of this month, it's well, of course, we all know her. It was Anna Browers, now it's Anna Lindell, and employee here at Hy-Vee. She got married last year. It's a beautiful layout here. They did get married. Her and her husband got married up in Brainerd, and I had friends go up there, and it was just a great time. And the reason why we're talking about it is, of course, because Anna here, it's over a month ago now, was in a really bad accident out there, kind of in the corner, kind of by the trails exit, where we tend to see a lot of accidents, and she was in a very bad accident, but it sounds like she is doing better than what was expected, and on a good trail, a good comeback trail. So I very, like I said, a lot of thoughts and things like that been with Anna, but yeah, she is on the cover. Looking through here as well, of course, Kelly and David Enzer, who got Jenny's Fine Jewelers, they're in there as well. They're also on our Power Shopper. You can get stuff there, plus a lot of other different wedding things that have happened. So it is the wedding portion here. Just kind of looking through some, pretty nice. Looks like it's a pretty nice laid out magazine this month. So I'm going to take this one home for myself there and be able to show that. But yeah, so Anna, once again, I know you're probably not listening, but prayers to you in a speedy recovery. Like I said, normally Anna comes and makes sure that we're all good here, but of course, after her accident, she has not been working. So, okay, let's get into some Tiger sports stuff. Of course, nothing really going on this weekend from what it looks like. Just getting onto the thing here. Of course, with the holiday break, like I said, they have been off since Wednesday. But coming up this next week, just looking here, looks like starting Monday, of course, you still got the winter break here, but it's kind of the start of kind of some of those holiday tournaments. Boys basketball, they're in a tournament. It looks like up in Dilworth. Boys hockey is going to be up at Fergus Falls. Girls basketball, they're going to be up in Wyndham. That's all starting on Monday, looks like. Tuesday it still continues with the girls basketball up in Wyndham. Boys basketball, but still up in Dilworth. And girls hockey will be up at Warroad, facing up there. So a lot of, like I said, a lot of traveling going on here over the next couple weeks. Of course, Friday, January 2nd, Rumble on the Red up at the Fargo Dome. That's going to be the wrestling. So, yeah, like I said, so a lot of the holiday tournaments. Also, just kind of looking here, went to the Star Trib varsity section there and looked at some things that I could find. Girls basketball, they're 0-6 in the Big Nine, 0-9 overall. But like I said, they've had some really good games. Looking just to get over that hump there. Boys basketball, they're on a 2-game win streak. They are 1-4 in the Big Nine and 2-6 overall, and we'll have some more. Like I said, some more games coming up for them as well. Hopefully, they can keep their winning ways going. Boys hockey, they are second in the Big Nine, 3-1 in the Big Nine. They're trailing Owatonna, who's 4-1, but boys hockey has a 5-4 overall record, where Owatonna is a 4-4 record. Girls hockey, they're third in the Big Nine, 4-2 there in the Big Nine, 7-3 overall, and they're behind, of course, Northfield, who is 6-0, but Mankato East at 7-1. So pretty tough. Pretty tough Big Nine this year. When you look at that, of course, like I said, kind of the rivalries that you have with a lot of the different teams. But that is what I was able to find there. Dylan is here. You got to get anything set up, Dylan, or no? You're not gonna go live today, huh?
I left it at work.
Left it at work. Well, you can put your headset on.
Are you ready?
Are you? If you're ready.
Are you ready, Dave?
I'm ready. Of course, here's fishing with Dylan.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. And I tell you what, it's good to see you. Did you have a good Christmas?
Wonderful.
Did you get out do any fishing?
No. But we did get down. I had work Christmas party a week ago, and we went to Good Shot.
Yeah.
And that was an absolute gas.
Yeah.
Tons of fun.
Did you get to go out on the hunt or anything?
Yeah,
You did.
yeah.
You did do that. Okay.
I think we had 10 guys in the group, and we killed just about 40 birds.
Wow.
I think 10 of them, or pretty close to 10 myself. Yeah, it was awesome. We had a ton of fun.
I had a buddy, because we did have some of the Good Shot, and every now and then you can find those on our Power Shopper. And I had a buddy who did buy one, and he said, I'm taking you with. We haven't scheduled it out yet, but I haven't been pheasant hunting in a lot of years. And that's what I've heard. It's an absolute blast out there. They send out a bunch of birds.
Yeah.
And then you just go out and not you don't have to work extremely hard for the birds, which is
the
kind of
field
nice.
was a nice walk. It wasn't. You're not like breaking down thick cattails or
just a
going
little bit
through.
more. Bring your mic up a little closer to you. There you
go. Anyway, the walk was decent. Like I said, you're not breaking through big cattails or going through bog or anything. So that was good. The birds, for the most part, got up and flew really good, which sometimes planted birds don't.
Yeah.
But some of the guys in the group have done it a few times down there, and they said usually the birds are pretty good flyers. So, yeah, it was a ton of fun. And the 5-stand deal was awesome, too. They have a little heated house that you stand in with 5 windows, and you got a little wood stove in there, so it's plenty warm. That was a ton of fun.
Awesome.
And they cooked us dinner afterwards, too.
You know what? That's even better. And depending on which package you have, and like I said, we can talk about them because they're on a sponsor, Power 96. There's a lot of different packages you can get.
Tons of stuff.
Like I said, yeah, depending on how many hunters want to go out, what you all want to do. I think we just got kind of the basic one. Now they also have dogs. Did you guys bring your own dogs, or did you use dogs?
So we did use dogs. We invited a friend of our group that had a dog, and then because there were so many of us, one wasn't going to cut it. And Good Shot has dogs available to hire also.
Yep.
So I think we had 5 dogs out there by the time it was all said and
Nice.
done.
That's a lot of rustling up with the birds.
Yes, it was a lot of rustling. Yeah, good time. And the clubhouse out there is beautiful too.
Yeah.
I hadn't been out there since I was a kid and played golf when it was Arrowhead Golf
The
or
old
whatever.
Arrowhead, yeah.
So I haven't seen the golf course or anything, but everybody I've talked to since says the course is in as good a shape as it can be, and it's a nice
And
little
it's a
spot.
links course, so like I said, it's one of those, very similar to like Wedgwood, where
Yeah.
you're gonna probably lose some balls out there, just plain and simple, because of, because of how it is. Where if you're one of those guys that likes to play multiple fairways, that's more like
Yeah.
go to the greenly,
That's my style.
I'll go 3 fairways away sometimes
Yeah.
when I'm golfing. That's just the way that I golf. But
I'll hit the fairway. I don't
Yeah,
know which one, but
exactly.
we go and do it.
Doesn't matter. Your drive will always hit a fairway on certain courses. So, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. You did that, and
So I teased a lake a couple weeks
Yep.
ago when I was here, right?
I can say, well, you were pretty close to it.
Yes, we were very close to it. So I have not personally gone and fished it, but I have very reliable info and have seen some video. There is an awesome pike population
Yes.
in State Line Lake. Really good.
And I've
Lots of
heard that
mid
too.
to-
We kind of
mid to
talked
upper
about that. Yeah.
20s fish. Go out and drop your hot dog under your tip up or whatever you're into. We talked about that quite a bit last season. But yeah, lots of fish in there, and they seem to be awful hungry. So I don't know what this weather the next couple days is going to do.
Well, and
or the
I
past
know,
week for that
wow,
matter.
and that's just it. And we had some really good ice. I don't know how it's sitting here now over the last couple of days.
I read about a rescue on Clear Lake down in, Iowa, Clear
yep.
Lake. Yeah.
Mason City, Clear Lake.
Yeah. Well, there's the one in Waseca, and sometimes
True.
it gets
Yep.
confused. 'Cause
They're not
we're-
the same Clear Lake.
They're not the same Clear Lake. But yeah, out by the Baptist camp, those that are familiar will know what I'm talking about. West end of the lake. Apparently 2 guys on the info I read said sled, so I assume snowmobile, dropped in out by the Baptist camp, and they were able to get out and up to shore, walk back out and got some of their stuff, but rescue crews were dispatched. Everybody seems to be healthy and safe, which, as we talk about, is always paramount, right?
Correct.
So if you're going out right now, keep a close eye on your ice conditions. It's important always, especially with, today I think we're approaching 40 right now already. So that'll likely soften up the ice. And then if we do get a bunch of snow on top tomorrow and it don't blow off, that could change things. So just be cautious.
Well, and that was one of the things, when we look at how such good ice we had to start, we didn't have a lot of snow cover on top of that.
No, and what little we did blew right off, and it was able to really cook some ice. I think the sheriff's department has been checking, about once a week, and gosh, I think we're close to 10 inches in a few spots I read the other day. So we were making really good progress, and now it kind of seems, I would assume we backtrack a little this week, but.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of water on top, or there was. and granted, most of that does refreeze. So definitely be very careful out on the ice as well.
Yes.
It's very, very slick. Very, when you got that melt and freeze and melt and freeze, that's just a lot of different layers of ice on there as well.
Yeah. A buddy and I are building a skid house. We're going to work on it tomorrow. And then that'll be really easy to get out. I don't have to collect all kinds of gear and drag everything around. You just walk out there and climb in. So hopefully I'll have a real report soon. Speaking of reports, I've heard, so we got State Line is popping off. Pike in there.
The pike, someone was telling me crappie's not bad in there either. I haven't heard from too many people, but I know a couple people.
I haven't seen that with my own eyes yet.
And I haven't either.
I've heard it too, and I try not to send people on a chase,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
And yeah. So I've heard there's crappies in there. I've seen the pike in there. Go put some tip-ups out and have a fun afternoon.
Or if you're
a spearer,
yep.
Start sticking them. It looks like some population thinning would do some good down there, and you could have a really nice pike
and that
lake.
was one thing, too, is with the pike, you want to keep them under control. Otherwise, they just overtake a lake.
Yeah,
which
and
I think is
then
what has kind of happened in the past.
They get stunted, and you don't got nothing. And that ain't no fun either, right? Another report I've heard is that the channel, or Albert Lee Lake down by the Pelican Breeze dock, is waking back up.
Which
I've
is
heard of a few
awesome.
people down there doing well. Yeah. I missed the days of that carnival down there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was so fun. Go down there and tons of people. Everybody was friendly, always had a good time.
Well, and one of the things was, and it's been years since this has happened, but it almost reminds me of if you're watching Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah.
And how they had like the village down there.
It had that vibe for
It was.
sure.
I mean, you had certain people that had the old burn barrels that were sitting on the ice. You could warm up. You could do whatever. Like I said, that was kind of the feel that it was down there for a long time because you are so close.
Yep.
Where Fountain Lake, you can go pretty much wherever you want. I mean,
Sure.
you got huddles and that's the thing is if you're catching fish in an area, you're going to see a ton of ice houses. That's just the way that it is. So you can't keep secrets long, especially with ice houses. No different than boats. If you see a lot of boats in a certain area, if you go to like when we're up at Mille Lacs, you see a ton of boats somewhere, you're going to try to get a little closer, and then when they leave, you know. But like I said, that was one of the real fields that I just enjoyed, back in the day. But it's been a long time since then.
Yeah, years. I can't remember the last time I seen a big group of houses down there.
The only downfall with when we'd go set up down there is it's a lot of jigging. And I'm a guy that likes to sit and have a beverage, listen to some music, maybe do whatever, talk with friends. But when you got to sit there and you're just working hard for some fish.
Well, in that, like everything else we've said, if you can sneak away from the group a little bit, kind of get away from the commotion, that will likely pay off for you. Because if there's just all that racket, everybody knows Albert Lee Lake is shallow.
Yep.
I think there's 1 or 2 deep holes in that channel, depending on specifically where you're standing. But yeah, sneaking away from the commotion, even 50 yards will probably pay off for you if people do start congregating down there again. And I'd heard it from a bunch of people. That's why I brought it up this week, because the word's kind of out again, and I think we'll probably start seeing that. And if you look up the DNR's catch data, it says there is mountains of walleyes in there currently. I mean, that's no secret. You can go find that data anywhere.
And that's one of the things that, obviously we had the Governor's Fishing Opener here, it's been probably close to 10 years ago now, maybe.
Was it that long?
And maybe not 10, but it feels like 10. But it's been a while.
Yeah,
and of course they restocked everything. And that was where all of a sudden it started coming out in these big magazines that Albert Lee is one of the top walleye lakes in the state.
Then people would show up, and there's this 4-foot puddle, and everybody's like, "What?"
Well, and and that was part of the issue with how we've been cleaning the lakes is that water gets clearer, and those walleye, they're smart. I mean, most fish are smart. Don't get me wrong. I mean, maybe obviously bullheads are smart enough to survive, but yeah, like I said, it was tough to catch them. And but
especially in
people that
open water.
Yeah.
And that I don't want to give away the ghost, but there are some techniques you can use to help yourself out.
But when you can see the fish, they can see you a lot of times.
Absolutely.
And that's that thing. So it's been kind of rough. Like I said, I know, but it was one of those things. It wasn't anybody local that said, "Hey, this is a great wall." It was coming out in national magazines.
Right.
So like I said, everybody has their sources and I don't even know what fishing shows are out there anymore. I mean, I know there's
the Lindners
probably
are still making TV. Jason Mitchell's still making TV. The Next Bite is still making TV. I mean, there's a few of them out there, but it's interesting how that has evolved from a content perspective with social media growing like it has. You don't always have the Saturday morning John Thielens and stuff anymore. He's still making TV, though, too. But some of the stuff I grew up with as a kid, Winkleman and the Lindners and all that, Doug Stange, there was a bunch of them. There's tons of Saturday morning TV fishing shows, right?
And it was so great when they'd get close to us.
Yeah.
They'd see them on a lake close to us or whatever, and yeah. So like I said, it's when people find out, they find out real quick. It's not just us talking on the radio.
Wildfire. Yeah, quickly. And as far as Fountain, I've heard the Western Basin has been good, and by that I mean Bayside Ski or the Highway 13 ramp. just out kind of in the middle. There's some traditional spots that usually pay off. And then, you know, the town side or eastern basin, as I call it, has some traditional spots that usually do really well. And I've heard, you know, the normal stuff from people out there. There's some new areas, you know, like we talked about the reefs and everything they installed, the habitat, the structure, yada, yada. Don't sleep on those areas. Look those maps up.
Well, and that's the thing. You're seeing certain houses, just because I drive by it every day, and they're not, especially now with these temporary houses, obviously your pop-ups, things like that, they're not sitting in one spot. They are out moving around trying to find the different areas.
With the tech we have now, that's another huge tip. Don't fish where there's not fish. Don't.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you don't have forward-facing sonar, drill your hole, use your traditional sonar. If nothing comes through in the first 10, 15 minutes, move a little bit. And if you have forward-facing sonar, do a scan, you know, 50, 75 feet, whatever. If there's not fish there, don't stay there.
No.
I mean, just don't. It's not worth it.
And like I said, and certain people that, you know, that when they get out, fishing has changed here in the last few years. So
definitely.
You know, I did see the other day there was some people kind of closer towards Callahan's, and Callahan's had kind of went away a little bit, but I've heard it's been kind of picking up there again. And you know, you get out by the cemetery, and there's a lot of different spots, but just don't go to those one. You're going to have to chase a little bit because of how everything has changed in our life.
Right, it's a completely different world down there.
As far as with the wall or with the northern, of course, we've talked about the hot dogs, things like that.
Hard to beat a sucker minnow.
And have you heard just straight up sucker? You know, there for a while they were cutting them in half. You know, heads, sometimes using tails, but right now just straight up sucker seems to be.
Yeah, that's always a good option. I mean, a lively presentation. I posted a video to my Facebook recently on how to tie a quick strike rig or a snell. So go check that out. It's really easy to do. You basically wrap the line around the shank of the hook and run it through the eye. Super simple. And you can put as many of them as you want in a row. Well, as long as you're minding the law.
Yeah.
Because there are restrictions on rig size and spacing between hooks.
So look at the laws before you do it.
Right. But snelling a couple hooks in line is no big deal. Super easy. And then when I do that, I'll put one hook, you know, maybe through a nostril or the front sucker of the fish, and then the second one back, you know, maybe past the dorsal fin somewhere in the tail, and just lightly get that hook under the skin. And then in that scenario, as soon as your flag pops, you can pretty much pop it. I mean, you've got hook on both sides of that minnow, and you'll usually find home. Yeah. Other things that work, shiners. Jigging wraps are really good. Different rattle baits are really good, but in that situation, you're going to want some kind of leader material, either heavy fluorocarbon or something like that, because pike have teeth, right? Lots of them.
Well, and that's going to be the next. Continue with your thought, and I'm going to come back because I'm going to ask you a question on this.
Okay. So, yeah, and we've talked about this before, too. Do some experimenting, right? Those rattle baits or blade baits, either one of those, they make a lot of commotion. Some days fish want a very aggressive, noisy presentation. You can get them mad and they'll come snap it up. And other days, the sucker deal or a piece of sucker or a hot dog that is the complete opposite of that. No commotion, very quiet, stealthy, and that's going to be what they want. And there are options in between also. So, you know, go out there, be prepared to do maybe a handful of different things and have a couple different baits if you're setting tip-ups, live suckers, hot dogs. And we keep saying hot dogs, and I always feel silly about it, but they work.
Yeah.
It absolutely works.
So let's get into, and you probably have your own opinions on things too. When we talk about, like, even for tip-ups and for ice fishing lines and things like that, you know, one of the things you got to know what you're fishing for. You know, if you know that you're going to be out there looking for northern or looking for those walleyes, you're going to probably want either a little thicker line, or what's your opinion on, like, the leaders or even that newer that newer line that's a little bit thicker, that's designed for some of those fish with bigger teeth.
So heavier fluorocarbon is very abrasion resistant, and fluorocarbon is invisible underwater. So when I'm out tournament fishing and we're fishing in very clear bodies of water with 10, 12, 15, 20 feet of visibility, it's required to have a fluorocarbon leader that's at least as long as your rod, right? 6, 7, 8, sometimes longer in some situations. Because if you're running braid, they can see that string, right? Walleyes have incredible eyesight. Most fish feed primarily by sight. So in super clear water, you've got to make sure that you're being stealthy. In some situations, I keep a mono rod in the boat all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Because if you are experiencing significant pressure like that, you need to get even stealthier. So, that little bit of mono 10 feet above your lure is more hidden than a braid. To keep going on the leader thing, fluorocarbon's great, but if it gets real thick, it's going to affect the action of your bait. So depending on what you're doing, that may not always be the best option. They still make the multi-stranded wire leaders with the clip-ons. Those are still really good, effective options, but in clear water, it's going to be very visible, right? Mm-hmm. In some of our more stained water down here, you're going to be able to get away with things like that a little easier and not have so much trouble. And pike a lot of times don't care as much, right? They're big, they're ornery, they're obnoxious, they think
they're just hungry.
Tough. Yeah, they're going to do it. They won't shy away as much as some other species. So yeah, I almost always have some kind of leader ahead of my main line, and if I'm using like a jigging spoon or a jig, I will try to tie direct to that. But like a blade bait or something that's got a lot more commotion, I will put a small swivel at the end of the line to help reduce the effect on action of your line. Just to help everything move freely.
Well, and like I said, and that's where everybody has their opinions on different things, and I know a couple of the other older cats, especially if you're going for crappie or sunnies, get that leader off because you're not going to get that much action and whatever. So really know what you're going out fishing for. And that's the thing.
Crappies don't like all the extra hardware. Definitely. I've seen guys with great big snap swivels on the end of their line. And yeah, it's super easy to change, but that deters fish for sure. So be mindful of that. Practice tying knots. Once you get good at it, it only takes a few seconds. It's not like it's going to take you 15 minutes to loop your string around again.
And have multiple poles out there. No different than if you're in your boat. Once again, don't have multiple. You get 2 on the ice.
2 on the ice. Someday maybe we'll get 2 on open water.
Yeah, that'd be great. But have those different options for presentation. If you're sitting there and you're going for your sunnies or crappies and they're not hitting, and you got the walleye and thing, continually swap around. It's not going to hurt anything. So yeah, like I said, I just know one of my uncles, get that off there. That'll never catch a fish. And well, then of course when you do catch a fish or something, then they get mad because they're
and
whatever you know it is.
In the river in the early spring, when there's flow and the water's got a lot of sediment in it or it's murkier, you have a little more leeway with stuff like that. You can get away with those things a little more. But Fountain is much clearer than it's ever been, especially in the winter when you don't have boats running around stirring everything up. I bet you can probably see 4 or 5 feet in there under the ice, right? So if you can see 4 or 5 feet, the fish that is designed to exist in that environment can see that far, if not farther, and they understand what's going on. So, they may only have a brain the size of a pea, but they have a very high flight instinct.
Correct.
If they're nervous.
It's one of those things that they're, to phrase one of the Star Wars movies, there's always a bigger fish, and fish are adapted to, like you said, fight or flight. What are you going to do? And when that's one of the biggest things. If you're sitting there and you're catching crappie nonstop, and all of a sudden it quits, there's probably a reason why.
There's
probably a predator somewhere nearby, and at that point, then maybe you need to change a little presentation again. We're going to take a break here. This is Fishing with Dylan Thompson. I'm going to get into a little bit of the Vikings and things like that.
Yeah, I've got some thoughts.
Okay, we'll get into that here in just a second. This is Tiger Sports Saturday, of course, here from Hy-Vee. We'll be right back.
The Bruins are back on the road after a weekend sweep at home against the Watertown Shamrocks. They make their first road trip of December to Aberdeen, South Dakota to face off with the third-place Wings. 7:15 puck drop both Friday and Saturday night. You can catch those games on NATV with the voice of the Bruins, David Coyer, or head over to the official road game destination of your Bruins, Lansing Corners, just off Highway 218.
The friendly staff at Albert Lee's Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union reminds you that when you're in need of a home that satisfies your financial needs, let Trades and Labor Credit Union make it easy with checking services, debit cards, home equity loans, and savings options that will earn you more for your money. Visit Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union on Albert Lee's friendly south side. Open 6 days a week with social distancing for your safety and theirs. Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union, member NCUA, providing financial services since 1958.
It's time once again to make those New Year's resolutions you absolutely, definitely, probably won't keep. Maybe you've resolved to hit the gym every day, or at least once a week. Okay, maybe just drive by it on your way to the donut shop. Here's one resolution you can keep. Review your insurance with Americana Insurance Group to ensure you have the exact coverage you need. Americana Insurance in Albert Lee, Wells, and Ellendale. Or visit our website at www.americanainsurance.com. Americana Insurance. Let us help you start the new year right.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
CBS News Brief. The storm that dumped snow from the Great Lakes to the northeast has moved offshore. CBS News meteorologist Ashton Altieri.
Most of the weekend will be dry across the northeast. We will get some rain that starts to come back in Sunday evening, and then it's going to rain into the first part of next week.
There are thousands of flight delays and cancellations today. Thailand and Cambodia have agreed to another ceasefire. Thai Defense Ministry spokesperson Surisan Kangsiri.
Both sides shall maintain their current troop levels in the area with no movement or reinforcement towards one another and no renewed attacks or provocations.
CBS's Jennifer Kuiper reports a Southern California mother accused of killing her 9-year-old daughter has made a court appearance.
A public defender enters a plea on behalf of 40-year-old Ashley Buzzard.
We're entering a not guilty plea. Okay. Not guilty plea. Keep it down, ladies and gentlemen.
Buzzard is charged with first-degree murder.
CBS News Brief. I'm Michael Wallace.
Howard 96.
And we're back here again. Tiger Sports Saturday. Hey, I want to thank, all of our Tiger Sports Saturday sponsors, Hy-Vee and Albert Lee, Americana Insurance, the Pizza Ranch, Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union, and the Austin Bruins. Also want to thank all of our sports boosters. Of course, without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, and that's bring you live sports year-round. Of course, Americana Insurance, Bayview Freeburn Funeral Home, Southern Minnesota Branding, On the Spot Appliance, Arcadian Bank, Derek's Preferred Auto in Blooming Prairie, Star Granite Works, GT Window and Door, Gutters by GT, the Austin Bruins, Marthaler Honda, Elf Orthodontics, Trades and Labor Federal Credit Union, Thompson Sanitation, Young Construction and Roofing, Nick's Meats in Hayward, South Main Auto Service in Austin, Freeborn County Solid Waste, North Star Power Sports. Hey, do you know anything about them, Dylan?
I've heard of it.
You've heard of it? Of course, you can go see Dylan there. Big Cats Customs in Clarks Grove, Albert Lee Convention and Visitors Bureau, Sorensen's Appliance in Geneva, Collins Auto Repair, Henson Tire Service of Austin, etc. Credit Union, The Overhead Door Company, Design Ready Controls, IV in Albert Lee, Jake's Pizza, Shell Rapid Loop, which they're listening right now, Aero Printing, Wasika Inc., and Becker Auto Sales on the corner in Hayward. And I do want to thank Mark and his crew for being a sports booster and a proud supporter here of Power 96. But this will be the last time you get to hear that, as Mark is going to semi-retire. And Becker Auto Sales there in the corner of Hayward. If you haven't heard, I won't say too much, but they're going to be doing a little shifting around.
Some changes?
Some changes. Amber, why are you looking at me like that? No, I was alone to start, I said. Jeez, Amber's yelling at me.
Well, a member of the gallery just came to your defense. I was
Yes.
talking about fish brains, and they thought I was talking about
Yeah.
your brain being the size of a pea.
Of course, now, and that's the nice thing about being here. And Jason Pastorius, most people know him. He's a fairly decent football mind, but he wants to hear what we're going to talk about here now with the Vikings. And
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what you're going to bring up.
My thoughts the whole preseason on, and even before then, was, okay, we're going to ride with JJ.
Yep.
Got to see what he's got.
Yep.
However, I wanted a good backup quarterback, so we
Yes.
didn't have to do what we did. And let's go back years ago now, and I've said this before. When Teddy Bridgewater went down, we sold the farm to bring in Sam Bradford.
Sam Bradford.
And people laughed, and there was memes out there that he showed up in bubble wrap.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, he ended up proving that he needed bubble wrap, but it was a good move. But it ended up hurting us in the long run, and it hurt us for a few years.
Yeah.
So I know
I'm glad we didn't knee-jerk like that this year.
Correct.
Right?
We didn't do
It
that.
stung, and it's classic Minnesota football season. But we kept our wits about us and didn't mortgage the future to try to make something happen. As far as JJ, I'm still a little mixed. He's still a young guy. How many games has he played? 9?
Technically, I think he was 4-4.
I think he's 4-4 or 5-4, and for some reason, our receivers are top tier in drops this year.
Well, and that's the next thing that people don't understand. Hey, okay, see ya.
Go Vikings!
Is that one of the stats I seen too was he has the most should have been completions.
Catchable drops.
Catchable
Yep.
drops in the league. And, well, then that gets it to JJ and Addison and,
Now, is that him having a
Hawkinson.
lack of touch and just gunning it in there and blowing it through their
That's
hands?
what
That's
a
some
lot of it is,
nuance.
yeah.
I can't answer those questions, right?
When he throws, and Jess Boyum was talking about it, she goes, he throws it 200 miles an hour, and if he was truly 200 miles an hour, he'd be playing baseball. But
right,
we were just laughing with Jess, but I mean that's just it. In Kirk Cousins was that same thing, threw it really fast. Sometimes it's too hard, and if he had that little bit more of that finesse, does that change?
I think it would. I am starting to be concerned with his need to be covered in bubble wrap, though, too. Seems
That's
like
the next
every
thing.
time we turn around, another part of his body's crumbling. So that I raised my eyebrow about a little bit. Like, what's this guy's durability going to be like throughout the years? I don't know. But I think the kid deserves a chance to grow a little further. We put so much pressure on these kids to perform at an elite level immediately. He's a young man still, right? And, man, give him a chance. We got a season to grow up a little, another off season of study and practice, and hopefully developing a vibe with the receiving core. And, I mean, the pieces are in place, right? isn't that a famous soundbite from? Did Favre say that? The year he-
You know, well, more people have said, yeah, it's the pieces are in place, and this is our window. You know, maybe our window was just this year. Maybe we still got. I like I said, I don't know. Once again, we're Viking fans because we're Viking fans.
Yeah.
And
I'm here for it.
you know, the heartache and Caldy. You know, he had to go to the cities today. I'm not sure if he can still pick us up or not. But same thing with Ron. They've dealt with their heartaches. Being Bears fans. You know, the thing is everybody can go back and say, you know, we blew our opportunity when we went for Herschel Walker. That was the big one. But was that our big? We've had so many.
Was that early 90s, late 80s? I don't remember the year of that.
Sometime
Mid-80s?
in the 80s, 90s. I don't even remember what year that was either. Ended up building the
Cowboys
Dallas
dynasty. So it must have been late 80s, early 90s because the Cowboys
somewhere in
were
there.
fired up in the
I'm trying
mid-90s.
to think of because Tecmo Bowl has Herschel Walker on the Vikings, and I don't know if that's an 88, 89 game.
Okay.
Somewhere in there, maybe
Sure.
even before. Like I said, I don't know for sure if Pesty was still here. He could have told us when that happened, but yeah, like I said, you know, the Bears they've had issues with their drafting and giving up everything to draft up higher and missing. I mean, obviously the Trubisky deal where they could have had Mahomes.
That was a
Thank goodness they didn't. Well, the Vikings could have had Mahomes too. You know,
well, a lot of people could have had Mahomes.
you know, I mean, thank goodness he didn't end up with the Bears.
Right.
That would have sucked.
Yeah, that would have been a bummer. We'd have had another Green Bay situation on our hands. And how would you feel for Green Bay? You've had approaching 40 years of some incredibly high-level quarterbacking. You know, the book isn't exactly written on Jordan Love yet, but you had two all-time greats in Favre and Rodgers. Love's no slouch.
Yeah.
You have 2 Super Bowls out of that. I think that speaks to how difficult it actually is to be consistently good in that world.
Yeah. Well, and then even, you know, you look at Brosmer, you know, on Thursday. He's the first quarterback to be sacked 7 times, throw for under 70 yards, and win a game.
Yeah. That guy's a little underwhelming to him.
But look at the defense that Detroit had on us. You know, it just, if it wasn't for the Vikings defense playing the way that they played,
out of their minds,
that'd have been a one-sided game. But
Right.
but even Goff didn't look that good.
No.
And Goff's a proven quarterback.
Goff is proven quarterback.
So, like I said, it's one of those things you just don't know. It sucks that it comes down to that Green Bay bye as to why we're out of the playoffs now.
Sure.
That's exactly what it comes down to, because Green Bay can lose out now the rest of the year.
Right.
But because they don't have that extra loss, they make the playoffs.
Right.
The Vikings and Bears have the same record, or not Vikings and Bears. Vikings and Lions have the same record right now.
Sure.
Which is crazy. 8-8.
8-8.
You know, Green
and who
Bay.
do we got next week to close?
Green Bay. Green Bay plays this week.
So we'll finish with a winning record, and
yeah, we can win out, and they will make the playoffs because of that bye.
Tie. Bye.
Or the tie. Excuse me, the tie. Yeah, because of the tie. So, like I said, just crazy to think about. You know, but in the same aspect, you know, they got that tie, which they got to win out, and the Bears got to lose out, whatever, to be the division champs.
Yep.
You know, so. But like I said, it's really crazy to think about that.
I love it when people walk in here and make faces at us.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
You look good though. But yeah, so like I said, I don't know. It's going to be interesting end of the year. You know, there's always going to be that speculation of what's going to happen.
My kids are super worried about GM guys' ability to draft. Is it Kwesi?
Yeah.
Kwesi
Adofo-Mensah. And you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to argue that point at all. His drafting has not been very good, but his free agency pickups have been his saver.
And as my boys would say, he is a cap space merchant. He makes it happen. He figures it out.
Well,
he
he's going to have to this next year because we're going to be hurting in that cap space.
Yeah,
You know, but once again, you know, you look at Smith. Smith will drop off. 36 years old. Everybody's wondering if he's going to come. He said this would be his last year. But wow, what a game he had on Thursday too.
It was wild.